Hello everyone. In today's video, I want to show you how we, Logoground designers, can participate in judging whether logos should be or should not be approved on this website. Right, so for that we go to our account and then we have this tab called Community Reviews. And when you click on this review button, so let's go and click on this review button. Now it's going to show me some logos that have currently been submitted. And as you can see, there is a slider and I can decide if this logo has a serious problem or is not good enough, or it's almost good enough, or it's okay, I can approve it, or it's brilliant, which means, I can make it as a staff favorite, so that we can see it on the homepage. So as for this logo, I don't think it's a bad logo. It's maybe a little bit generic, but still a very good Speedy Hedgehog. So I'm gonna just go ahead and click on good logo approved. So submit and load next. So here is another logo, and you can also, for example, if I disagree with it or I say it's not good enough, I can leave a comment saying why it's not good enough. Or maybe if I say it needs a little more work, what kind of adjustments designer needs to make for it to be a little bit better. So without reading, what I see is an abstract frog and a leaf, but I think there is room for improvement, right? So the leaf doesn't really look like a leaf. For example, its stem is a little thicker, so I'm just gonna go here and write almost. Letter G bull logo, but I feel that something isn't right? So the bull is a little interesting, the letter G isn't quite there yet, so I'm just gonna try and select almost. You don't really need to use your mouse, you can just use your arrow keys to go from one option to another. So in this case, I'm gonna select almost, and then you can just click enter. Circular Energy Sun logo. Now this is certainly unacceptable because this is generic. There are a lot of logos like this, and certainly this is not fit to sell as a pre-made logo. Well, it is a logo, but it's a generic logo. You can find this kind of logos pretty much everywhere. You can find it on Shutterstock, on any other stock website. So it will not work for us. I'm gonna say sorry, not good enough. Another interesting logo, FS Tech Circuit logo. I'm not sure I like the metallic feel to it and the shadows, but overall I think it's not a bad logo, so I'm just gonna go and approve it. By the way, you can also go and try to check if a similar logo exists, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna leave this to the admin. When I judge a logo here, I don't necessarily go and check if it's similar to some other logo or not, because I really don't have time for that. Most of the time, if I think it's a good logo, I just select that it's a good logo. And as for the copyright issues, I think it's not my job to check it. It's gonna be the job of the Logoground staff. And Logoground staff really does a great job on identifying, copycat designers. Well, I don't think I even need to comment on this. It's like way too generic. So I'm just gonna go sorry, not good enough. Minimal microphone music note logo. There are issues. Well, I do see a little issues with like the stroke weight, etc. But overall, I think it's not a bad logo. Maybe I can go and select almost and say maybe, make stroke weights the same. And here, okay, I think this is exactly the same designer that we saw earlier, the frog and the leaf, but this version is much more better. I mean, it's actually really good. The leaf is a little strange, but so the designer's idea is to make this wide gap between body and its leg exactly the same, exactly on the same parallel, exactly the same stroke weight. Yeah, it's a good logo. Letter P pine logo. Maybe you could make the leaves a little smaller on the top, so that it's like a little bit more trianglish. So I do see a little problem with the curve here, but overall it's not a bad logo. Minimalist Angry Owl Bird logo. Why is it angry? So, I'm not a expert on animals. Based on its technicality and its execution, I think it's not really bad, so I'm just gonna say it's a good logo. Letter X sword blade logo. There are things that I would do a little differently, but yeah, it's beautiful. Star arrow logo. But for some reason, I think it's like too generic, right? Somebody had to do it already. Somebody has to. Do you think no one has ever done this before? I'm gonna say it's a good logo, and I'm gonna leave it to Logoground staff to figure it out whether something similar exists or not. This one is really a strange logo. So, like I said, I'm not an expert on like animals, but I'm an expert on logos. So what I would do is I would increase the white space. What I would do is maybe make wings less and maybe increase the white space and maybe make the white highlights a little bigger and maybe make white highlights a little more prominent. Wow, this is exactly what I saw. Do you remember the previous logo where there was like a cow and a wing? And I did say that I wanted to see a little less wings and more of the white space. So here is another logo with a winged sitting donkey logo, and I think it's a great logo. So I'm just gonna, this is the case when I'm gonna say it's a brilliant logo. So one of the problems of these reviews is that it doesn't tell me how much logos are left to review. So maybe there are like hundreds of logos pending to be approved. So basically, the video was to show you how you can participate in reviewing process of Logoground. Not all designers have access to it. You will need to have some approved. You'll need to have some logos approved on the platform, and then they will grant you access for this feature. So yeah, this was it for this video. Thanks for watching. Take care.